This episode of Power Women of the Trades is also brought to you by Forrest Perry of Forrest Perry Digital Marketing. Want to generate more leads for your service business? Trust his team to deliver quality new customer leads and protect your brand online. Check out perrymarketing.com today.
Most businesses' online presence is boring, and by being boring, they're losing out on potential sales and customers. Being interesting and exciting is what draws customers in and gets them to buy from you. But it's hard to be interesting online when you're focused on running your business and taking care of your customers. It doesn't have to be this way. We have the key to unlocking the solution to your problem. Key Heart Marketing can help take your business from boring to brilliant on social media. We can vouch for them. They run our podcast socials. If you want to have a strong social media presence that allows customers to know, like, and trust you, connect with Key Heart Marketing at keyheartmarketing.com.
Hey everyone, this is Eric Thomas with Rival Digital, and I am proud to announce that we are the newest sponsor for the Power Women of the Trades podcast. We've been a big fan and supporter of the show for years, and we are just very excited and very honored for the opportunity to now be one of the podcast sponsors. So make sure you check out their page and subscribe to the podcast and listen in on wherever you get your podcast episodes from. Rival Digital is a full-service premier digital marketing agency for the home services industry. We offer everything from website design, search engine optimization, online advertising, public relations, and more. If you're interested in learning more about the services we offer for contractors just like yourself, head on over to rivaldigital.com, and we look forward to chatting with you.
Welcome to Power Women of the Trades podcast. This show is all about breaking barriers and changing the game. Our guests will feature some of today's most successful female entrepreneurs and other advocates of our industry as well. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, female-led entrepreneurship drives change on multiple levels. We want to empower women in the trade industry like you so you can maximize your potential, stay balanced, achieve long-term success, and claim ownership over your life. Let's get started.
Welcome back to Power Women of the Trades podcast with Cassie and Kailee.
Hey.
Today we are here with Alicia Green from Go Green Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you guys?
Good. I just now, I'm so dumb. I'm just now reading it, recognize why the company's name is Go Green.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I don't know.
I just realized that too. I put two and two together.
Yeah,
now, but I
was reading it. It's funny how it comes along. All right. Where are you from?
We are in Greensboro, North Carolina, so pretty center of the state. We're a couple hours from the mountains, a couple hours from the beach, and an hour from Virginia and an hour from South Carolina. So we're
nice.
right in the center.
That's perfect location.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Awesome. Well, tell us how you got into the industry.
Okay. So my husband actually went into plumbing. We've been together since we were in high school. When he graduated before I did. He went straight into the trades. At first, he was looking to get into electrical, but couldn't find a apprenticeship program for that. So he went into a plumbing apprenticeship and absolutely loved it. And I think probably his first 6 months, he said, someday I'm going to own my own plumbing company. So that was kind of always in the back of our minds, you know. When I graduated, I went to nursing school, and then I did that for a long time, worked in cardiac ICU, trauma, stayed pretty much in the management roles, moved up into a chief nursing officer position. So I spent a lot of time in hospital administration too. And then in 2014, Pete, my husband, said he was sure we were going to do it in the next year. And I went back to school. I got my master's in business. I had already been working on a master's in healthcare administration, so I just added it. And I wanted to make sure that I really understood the business side of things because I was nervous about us starting a company. Not that he wasn't competent, because he was, and at that time he had been doing it for 16 years. So, in various roles, he was at that time a general manager of a company. So he knew the administrative side and business side, but I just wanted to be able to contribute, in the most effective way. So, in 2015, we pulled the curtain and opened our little plumbing company, just me and him in our basement. And my dad would come in and help us answer the phone sometimes just to help us out. But yeah, humbly started in our basement in 2015.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I love this that you went to school ahead of time to prepare, because like a lot of us don't do that. We just kind of jump into it and have to figure it out by trial and error. And, there's like a lot of things that I certainly wish that I would have learned the proper way instead of the hard way. And I think, you probably realize that the school can only prepare you for so much, but you still, I imagine, got at least a head start into, oh, this makes sense or whatever. So
yeah, I would say most of my learning, though, has been just being in it,
Yeah.
I tell our academy students here in our apprenticeship academy that, really the learning is just the foundation of the house.
Mhm.
And then, after you're done with that learning, then you kind of frame the walls. And then maybe your second and third year, you put the roof on, and your fourth and fifth year, you can start decorating the inside. And I really feel like that's how it went for me. A lot of things were, every policy and procedure I think we ever created, besides our first original employee handbook, was created because somebody did something that I just never even could have imagined someone would do. And so we had to create a policy about it. It's learning on the fly. So
we
have to
talk
be
about that a lot, right? Like the policies that we are made, every dumb rule is because of someone's dumb behavior, typically. And then, or, the policy is outdated because it was made for 5 people and not 100 people. And so it's a continual like change. And so I think for a long time, I used to always look for like the check mark of like, oh, we have it figured out. LOL.
Right.
FYI, if you're listening out there, there's never a time that you have it figured out. It doesn't really matter how long you've been doing it. You're never going to have it figured out.
No, it's never going to be the right time, and it's never going to be perfect. So,
and then it's just like I think that was one of the biggest pieces for us in our ability to like start growing, was that I could come to terms with, okay, well, I don't have to have it figured out. Like I can bite off more than I can chew and just learn how to chew it.
I saw your TikTok that you reposted.
I reposted that.
So
it's so true, right?
Yeah,
like I'm just like, I'll figure it out. We always do. But you got to have that like in you, right? Like that grit in you to be able to do it. Not all people want to do it that way, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I think even the best made plans, there's that saying for a reason, because you can outline everything, but it just never really goes that way. We even changed and added to our core values adaptability, because everything is constantly changing. So when people hear like, well, we've always done it this way, well, that's just because you've always done something one way doesn't mean you don't need to change that practice. So definitely be flexible and adaptable.
Yeah, for sure. What does your day-to-day look like now that you've been in it for a while?
Yeah. So we're 11 years now. I probably do too much, honestly. I have a lot of control issues. I do have an amazing team. I have a great leadership team. But on a day-to-day, I always participate first in our morning huddle. And then I kind of take the day where I'm needed most. So if we're struggling in call center, I might sit up in call center with them for a couple hours and, just be there, supportive, help coach. I do a lot with our academy. So I run our entire academy. Right now we have 35 students in there. So I do, that is definitely my pet project is the Academy. And I do a lot with marketing too. And then I finally just gave up all of my books. I know it took me like 11 years to do that, but that was really hard because I have tried in increments in the past and just could not understand why they didn't understand it. But I think the trades does have a little bit of quirks with the way that we do our bookkeeping and accounting. And so I still kind of overlook those things, but I do have somebody in place there. So
That's
a lot of different hats, but I try to make myself always available. I actually moved my desk out to our operations center. So it's like right in the middle, and I still have an office if I need to go in there, for reasons or whatever. But I like to kind of just be out in the middle of it. I tended to, and I'm sure no other like red personality type or D personality type like me has ever dealt with this, but I would create a story. So at the end of the day, like sales weren't where they needed to be, or we didn't collect what we needed to collect, or who knows whatever happened. And I would create this story in my head of how the day went. And now when I'm actually like in the middle of it, I'm not running any of it. The leaders are running things, but I kind of hear it. And I know that they weren't just sitting on their hands all day, that we're trying to get people to let us run that lead right now. And so I think it has positively affected culture, just being kind of in the middle, but making sure that I'm not trying to take over situations too, because that is something I struggle with.
I'm a D. I am you. Okay, so I'm just trying to gauge. So what size is your company now?
Currently we're at 104 employees.
So we're about the same, it sounds like. And so I am the same way. So we moved into this new building the other day, like a year ago. And this whole building, we had built a building, and that's a whole different story. But we're in these buildings, right? And so we came in, and like our old building, we were very open, but we were like on top of each other. And so this building, it's more spread out. Well, we've like changed desks like 5 times, and then Oscar and I were upstairs in these like really nice offices, but like we couldn't hear the day to day, and so we had to move. We lasted like not even a month up there, and now we're in like these like shotgun offices, right? And so they're like, I can put my arms across, and it's probably only 8 or 9 feet wide, right? And so, and then I have 2 doors. I have a back door that opens into like our operations center, right? And then I have a front door that is to the hallway of like our sales room, and I have to hear it. And if I don't hear it, then I think that we're dead. We're not doing anything. Like, we are not office people.
Yeah.
And so, and then our team's the same way. Like I don't know. It was like was the dream for people to have their own office, right? Yeah. And then like our team is not that way. They're like, do not put me in an office. I have to have we have to know what's going on. We have to hear it and feel it. And then like you said, you can feel like what's happening. Some of the best advice that I've given that I know was good advice to help someone was this exactly. They've called me and said like, I can't get our culture the way it needs to be. I can't. And I'm like, you have to get out of the office. Like nobody needs an office. Everybody needs to work together.
That's right. And that's when you hear like a dispatcher struggling. Instead of them just sitting there struggling, you can easily pull your chair over there and just ask how you can help, like make me useful. And I love the whole idea of servant leadership. And I really think that that's where we're best suited. We're present, but we're not taking or micromanaging our managers. We don't want to take away I really don't want to take away their autonomy or their authority. But I also cannot be hidden away down a hallway in my back office. And it really hit me, I think, probably a couple years ago. So we moved into this building in August of 2020 after doing a whole renovation on it. And at first I was like, wow, because we were just in this tiny little space before that. And it was so nice. I had this office and beautiful desk and, it was so nice. And the same, like a month in, there was people that would walk by down the hallway and I'm like, who is that?
Uh-huh.
I don't even know who that person is,
Yeah.
and I do not like that feeling.
Mhm.
I want to know every single face. When they come in, I want to cheer for them for what they've done today.
Yeah.
And I want to hear who's struggling so that, I can assist in whatever way. I think it's so much more impactful. And I think it does dramatically impact your culture too, because you're approachable. Your people feel like
Absolutely.
you're approachable.
Well, and then it just encourages, it's like silent leadership too, because whenever you're leading like that, then your team sees you leading like that, and then they're doing the same thing. Like Kailee we call her our chief happiness officer because she's always just happy, bubbly. She's talking to every single person. She's in charge of taking their new hire picture, so she knows every single face, but people follow that from seeing her do it, right? So her region, like her desk area, that is always like a naturally happier area, right?
Yeah.
And so and we feed off of each other. I always say, like, you'll never hear me walk through and be like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I had a crazy weekend, because that everybody feeds off of that. And so you want them to feed off of, like, at least I'm going to fake it, right? Like, I'm having the best day ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you're not, because you just got to kind of fake it. But
we put a big whiteboard up in the operations center. And so if anybody says any of those kinds of things, they have to go up to the board and write their 5 gratitudes up there. So we're like, oh, you got to go write your 5 gratitudes, like get everybody involved. And then everyone calls each other out. And we took away the achy moan, like the sighs. Now they have to make some other kind of funny sound. So if they want to do that, they have to like moo or oink or I don't know, something. If you want to make a sound, it's got to be something that people can smile at. So
okay, so are you guys Next Star?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
you can always tell the 5 gratitudes. I was like, okay, I got it. Normally, I don't typically ask that question until sometime in the episode. And I can normally catch if you're Next Star because, everyone likes to say it's a cult, and maybe it is to some degree. It's not a cult, but it's, we do follow the same things and we believe them because it works, right? And so it's incredible to see, especially with the 5 gratitudes. The technicians, I remember when we first rolled that out to our team, and so that's the 5-5-20. It's 5 gratitudes, 5 goals, and 20 reps of something, right? And so we start every meeting with that. And I remember rolling that out, and some of our thinking, I was making the decision for them that they were going to hate it, that they were going to tell me it was stupid, that our team's young, a lot of them, right? And so they're not going to do that. And now, like, getting to hear our people regurgitate that themselves, like, what are your 5 gratitudes, or what are your goals, or whatever, or I find their papers laying around of what they wrote down. It's like, it's incredible.
It is. And they do speak to it. Like when we do onboarding or when we bring on our academy groups, a lot of these 18 and 19-year-old kids are like, I never felt like I had a purpose when I got up in the morning. So they've shocked me. They've really taken it on, and everybody does their 100-day plans. We have them all, an entire wall in our training center is covered in everyone's 100-day plans, and they hold each other accountable here too. So, one technician will hear another technician moaning, and he'll call him out, and he'll be like, I need 5 positives. You have to make those things part of your culture, because it's easy to get stuck in that negative merry-go-round. That's easy.
Yeah, for sure. So when did you guys join Next Star?
We joined in 2017. And I would say we operated as much Next Star as we possibly could from the beginning, but we weren't able to join until 2017. We had to meet that minimum revenue and have a spot available in our region. But Pete came from a company where he had brought Next Star on. And so for 7 years, Jim Hamilton was his coach as the GM. And so he had a lot of that background. So we couldn't use any of the Nexstar tools. You know,
he had that ingrained in him if he was doing,
yeah, it was very ingrained. Yeah.
You can't lose that. Like once you learn Nexstar, and the truth of it is people often will ask me like, what is Nexstar really teaching you? I can't really bottle up everything that they're teaching us, right? Because it's a lot. There's a lot of opportunity to learn, but the root of it is just really good customer service. Right. If you really take everything away of like the goal of what we're being taught is just really good customer service.
You know what, too, I would say is last week we had Blake out here and he did an on-site. He's one of the Nexstar trainers for anyone that doesn't know. And he was here and did advanced sales and service with our team. And when they came out, I was asking everybody, like, what is your one aha, you know, at the end of each day? And over and over and over again, they kept saying that class made me want to be a better human being, not just a better technician, not just, you know, better at my job or sell more or better customer. So like they kept saying over and over, that empowered me to feel like I want to be a better human being. I think that sums up Nexstar. Like it just makes us better all around. You know, all around.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that. We joined in 2020 and it's just been a huge change for us since then. And and to be honest with you, the first 3 years of Nexstar, we probably did like 0% of Nexstar. Like we paid it, but it was like, when you first get in, you're kind of like, it's a lot. And then you have to be willing to kind of change your ways or realize that maybe the things you're doing are wrong.
Yeah. Which is hard, right? We got to go more pride and ego a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
This has been Power Women of the Trades. Like what you hear so far? Leave us a review at Apple and make sure to listen to our other episodes wherever you enjoy listening to your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.